Knox Jolie-Pitt, from the quiet son to the new face of the Jolie-Pitt family. While media attention has remained fixated on the controversies surrounding Pax Thien, the Vietnamese-born adopted son once publicly embraced by Angelina Jolie, another member of the family has been quietly stepping into a more visible role. Knox Jolie-Pitt. Once regarded as the most private of the Jolie-Pitt children, Knox has recently been seen more frequently alongside his mother, appearing to gradually take over the role that Pax once held, accompanying Angelina on errands, casual outings, and events. This shift, though subtle, raises a legitimate question. Is it a natural change based on maturity and timing, or a strategic choice made by Angelina following Pax's recent missteps? The change is not without context. Pax has reportedly been involved in multiple incidents, including a traffic violation, a car accident, and rumors of visiting adult nightclubs, all of which may have contributed to Angelina's decision to reduce his visibility in the public eye. Known for her deliberate management of her family's image, Jolie appears to have adjusted accordingly. In the background of that adjustment, Knox has stepped up, not by actively seeking attention, but by being present in quiet, consistent ways. What sets Knox apart is his approach to presence. He is not vying for media coverage. He appears next to his mother without spectacle, driving her, opening doors, assisting with errands, and then steps out of the spotlight just as quietly. In an environment where many children of celebrities are either overly exposed or heavily scrutinized, Knox's quiet presence has become a notable contrast. Rather than chasing attention, his consistency is what earns it. From the very beginning, Knox and his twin sister Vivienne drew intense media interest. Their newborn photo, sold to People and Hello magazines for $11 million, remains one of the most expensive baby photos in history. Yet despite such a high-profile introduction, Knox's life has largely remained under the radar. Unlike his siblings, Maddox, who studied abroad, Pax, who explored photography and art, Zahara, who became active in humanitarian causes, Knox has maintained a more grounded, low-profile routine. His only film-related activity was a voice role in Kung Fu Panda 3, alongside his mother and siblings. Since then, he has been notably absent from public-facing projects. Instead of participating in show business, Knox has focused on personal development. He has been homeschooled, studied multiple foreign languages, taken martial arts lessons, participated in robotics classes, and even learned to fly a plane at the age of 9. He has also studied sign language and learned musical instruments. In 2019, he raised money for animal rescue charities by selling organic pet treats. What stands out about these activities is not their range, but how quietly and sincerely they have been pursued without the typical fanfare or publicity. For Angelina, who has long been known to prioritize her children's privacy, Knox may represent a form of quiet reliability. At a time when she is navigating life as a single mother under constant public scrutiny, Knox's calm, consistent presence likely provides a sense of grounding. He is not a replacement for Pax. He represents something different altogether, a quiet but steady source of support. While some may assume Knox is stepping in simply because Pax stepped away, this shift appears more like a timely and natural progression than a reactive substitution. Knox is maturing at a moment that aligns with a real need in the family dynamic, without announcements or rebellion, just through visible calm and steadiness. In a culture dominated by noise, his restraint has, ironically, made him more visible. There is also growing interest in his appearance and demeanor. As a child, Knox was often compared to Brad Pitt, dubbed his mini-me. But as he grows older, observers have pointed out that his personality and expressions increasingly resemble Angelina. From his thoughtful gaze to his composed body language, Knox appears to reflect the qualities his mother values most: discipline, humility, and inner balance. Whether it was learning sign language out of curiosity, building robots with his sister, or playing music for personal enjoyment, Knox seems to operate according to his own values. He does not appear driven by the expectations of legacy or media attention. Instead, he is quietly shaping his identity, and in doing so, may be the clearest reflection of what Angelina hoped to instill in her children. As Knox becomes more visible, one important question arises. Will he be able to maintain this calm detachment from fame, or will the demands of public interest eventually reshape him? In a world that often equates silence with weakness, Knox challenges that assumption. His quietness suggests self-possession, not disengagement. And in many ways, those who speak the least are often the ones whose actions speak the loudest. Angelina once described Knox as, quote, disciplined but deeply emotional. That description seems to be more than just maternal praise. It offers an accurate portrait of a young man growing up intentionally, on his own terms. In the years ahead, it may not be Maddox, Pax, or even Shiloh who becomes the symbolic heir to the Jolie-Pitt legacy. It may well be Knox, not because he pursued the spotlight, but because he understood the value of quietly standing beside those he loves without needing to be seen. Some sources say that Brad tried, that he was restricted, that for a long time he was denied access to his children, even denied the chance to call. And that might be true. It's heartbreaking. But others say he didn't try hard enough, that he pulled away, that he avoided conflict by choosing silence, by choosing not to show up, by choosing a simpler life, a life that no longer revolves around the children who are growing up and growing distant. So what is the truth? Perhaps no one knows, except the people directly involved. But one thing is clear. The distance between Brad and his children is real, and it is growing. And the public sees no sign that he's making an effort to close it. A man can have millions of fans, but that does not make him a good father, in the eyes of his children. And likewise, a father who was once great can become a distant figure if he stops fighting for the relationship. Fatherhood, especially in the context of fame, is not permanent. It requires presence. It requires listening, humility. Sometimes it even requires letting go of pride just to remain close. The real question is, has Brad Pitt done that? Or was it pride, fatigue, or ambition that took him too far? A close friend of Angelina once said, "The kids don't need explanations. They feel who's truly there for them." That may sound biased, but it's also true. Children raised under the spotlight are not easily fooled by appearances. They know who shows up when it matters. And perhaps, over the past 8 years, the one thing Brad hasn't been able to give them is presence. To Brad, maybe Chateau Miraval symbolizes legacy, career, glory, a new love, a peaceful breath. But to his children, the one thing that ever truly mattered may have been much simpler. A father who is always there. Not the father from 2010, but the father of today. The one who never misses a birthday. The one who appears in photos. The one whose name never disappears from their sense of identity. There was a time when Brad Pitt was the pinnacle of Hollywood masculinity. He was twice named the sexiest man alive by People magazine. Admired for his charm, talent, style, and of course the seemingly perfect family he had. But what happens when all of that fades, and the only thing left is the quiet absence in the lives of his own children? If Brad Pitt reads this, I hope he doesn't just feel sadness, I hope he reflects. Because as long as there is still time, there is still hope. Not to fix the past, but to choose differently, starting now. Not to win a lawsuit, but to reclaim the sacred, everyday role of being a father. Not on the cover of a magazine, not on an awards stage, but in the quiet, hidden corners of his children's hearts. Don't let it reach the day when his children, once they become parents, have to use their own emotionally distant childhood to explain absence to their kids. Because being a father is not just about having children, it's about showing up. And once that's gone, no title, not even the most handsome man on earth, means anything anymore. Brad Pitt once had everything. He can still win back what truly matters. But not by loving someone new, by relearning how to be a father from the beginning.